Today is the assemblage of the fan base for PVN's baseball. We call it a Seminole.
Called on one?
Okay.
Now this all started back in the cafe 3 years ago when Mike Amos met me and I met Mike Amos, and we started calling the cafe the Learning Center. And Mike heard about Jackson McDonald, my grandson, and he said, hey, we need him here to do a presentation. And so this is about the 4th time, isn't it, Jackson?
I think my mom said it was the 6th.
6th time that he's been here. It comes 3 times a season usually. So with that, I'm going to introduce Mike to give you the background, and he'll introduce Jackson, and off we go.
Well, not to take up too much time, is baseball an art or a science? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Jackson McDonald. Jackson, you're on.
Thank you. All right, thank you guys for all being here this morning. I know it's a bit rainy, but first time the season's officially done, and I'm sure some of us in this room aren't very happy the Rangers are in 3rd, but I'm sure some of us are very happy Houston's in 1st. So we're going to go over just some of the teams that I think are like the standout ones and teams that I think that have a best chance of making the postseason. And then I'll go into depth of the Rangers just because that's the team I know most about because I love them so much. But yeah, what to say about the Rangers? They have been disappointing for sure. I saw a metric today. It said they are one of the top 3 unluckiest teams in baseball. Our record's 48 and 49 right now, but if you took all like the unlucky diving plays, like where the ball was expected to be a hit, but it wasn't, it was caught, our record would be 57 and 40 or something. We'd be like top 2, top 3 in baseball. So we're just getting unlucky from what I'm hearing, but I think it's a little more than luck. I think luck's a factor, obviously, but I don't think it's 10 wins of a factor, you know? I think the fact that we don't hit the baseball out of the infield is the biggest factor. The fact we're not laying down bunts when half the team can't hit the ball right now. I think we should be bunting all over the place. I think Jake Berger, our fat boy at first base, should be bunting. I want to see somebody do something to change it up and get on base, but it's been a slow year for pretty much the whole offense. Injuries have slowed down Corey Seager. He's kind of maybe showing a little bit sign of age, but he's on a couple game hot streak here coming into the break. So is Marcus Semien. I think he's definitely regressing because he's a bit older, but he can't keep hitting 330 with 25 homers all year. He's one of the best in the game when he's at his peak, but he's definitely showing signs of getting a little older. I remember when we won the World Series, he didn't rest like a single game or something. I think he rested maybe 1 game, and this year he's had like a week off. So that's kind of a sign that our 2 big money guys aren't producing the way we think they should be, and they're getting a little older. Our young guys, though, are doing absolutely fantastic. I mean, you got Josh Jung, who he's started out really slow, injury kind of got him, but he's really his defense is just what keeps him there, so important to me. I love his defense. We've got Josh Jung, Evan Carter, Wyatt Langford. Those 3 right now are kind of a highlight of the team. I'd say Wyatt Langford more than anything because every single day I look at him and I think he's looking more like Mike Trout, like potentially one of the best in the game. He's just always there. He's always fast. He's always hustling. I think the young guys are really sparking the team. Evan Carter, as some of y'all know, started out in AAA this year just because we had so many guys that we thought were going to do really good. So he came back and started doing well, which is what the team needed. Getting kind of a spark in the offense. But I think the most important part of our offense is Josh Smith. I saw a fact the other day. I think he's not on league minimum. I think he's getting around $500,000, but these new stats and everything, his estimated payroll, he is playing like a $32 million player.
Yes.
And we're paying him $500,000, which I think is insane that he has just playing so well, getting paid so little. So my heart goes out to Josh Smith. I think he's slowly becoming a leader on this team, and it's great to see. Now let's look at some of the more positive things. The Rangers pitching is the 2nd best in baseball. I mean, we've got a group of 35-plus-year-olds absolutely tearing the league apart. Jacob deGrom was an all-star. He said no to it, but he got elected to be an all-star. He's one of 5 players with like a positive win percentage and something 100-plus strikeouts, something. He's one of only 5 players in that category. Nate Eovaldi is just an absolute dog. That guy has work ethic out there. Go watch last night's game against the Astros. Shut down guy. That's prime Nate Eovaldi right there. Tyler Mahle, he just went down with an injury, but Tyler Mahle, I didn't even know who that guy was. Like he had him on the team last year. He didn't play because he was injured. He comes back this year. For the longest time, he had like a 1.6 ERA. He was an absolute stud. And again, 35 years old. So those 3 old guys playing the way they were playing, pitching so consistently, so well, really helped our 2 younger guys at the bottom of the rotation, Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker, have some freedom to mess up, be young, you know, like miss a fastball over the plate. Like they're allowed to do that because our other 3 were playing so good. And that's why I think Jack Leiter has done so well this year, because he's had the freedom to just go out there and pitch, knowing that we have the 3 top guys who are just giving him information. Like they're using their 60-something years of MLB experience and just passing it on to him. Kumar Rocker was off to a slow start, but ever since that pickle juice incident, he's been looking like an absolute dog. I mean, I don't know if any of y'all saw that, but there was one game he was out there. I think it was like before the 5th inning. He just looks at the dugout and is like, something's wrong. So Bochy comes out, he's like, what's up? He's like, I'm low on energy. So they get the bat boy to run him a can of pickle juice, and he downs it like in 2 seconds. And then the next inning, take like 2 more. He had like 5 shots in an inning and a half. And after that incident, I think he's picked it on like a 2.08 ERAs. He got like a certain amount of strikeout. He's looking insane. So give this man his pickle juice, and I think he'll be all right. He needs to go into business with some pickle juice companies. Anybody knows anybody? Hit him up. Maybe he'll make some money there.
I had gallon in my closet if he needs.
I'm sure that would be great for him. I will bring that to a game one day.
What's the brand?
Not a clue. I wish I knew. That's probably some top MLB secret that's never gonna get out. Just like where's the mud come from, you know? Something like that.
What do they mix with it?
That's not. I wasn't going that far, but wow, that's definitely a good question.
Then it counted as a visit to the mound.
I don't think they did it because it counted as a health risk. So it's the same as if a guy got hit with a line drive.
Paper said they counted it as a.
Did they really? I thought I heard our broadcaster saying it didn't count for one just because of the.
So.
Yeah, I'll look into that for next time. For whenever we're in the postseason, I can talk about it more. Hopefully. Our bullpen's been really good, which has been a surprise because back in 23 when we won the World Series, our offense was amazing and our bullpen was horrific. I mean, it was hard to watch. But this year, I mean, we've got guys, Jacob Latz, Hobie Milner. It was a preseason pickup, and that guy has just been an absolute gem. I love watching him pitch. The bullpen has just been so good, even after losing 2 of our guys who last year were absolute studs. The Dodgers got, I'm obviously forgetting his name right now, but we lost 2 back in. Dave Roberts was one of the guys we lost. Just 2 guys who were really, really top of the league bullpen guys are gone in the offseason. So we went and picked up some like, can you guys do this? And they're doing it. So bullpen's looking good, pitching's looking good. We just need the offense to start racking it up a little bit. Another thing, we've been the 28th worst offense in baseball through the first half of the year, except July. We're the 5th best offense this month so far. So it's looking like maybe things are turning around. Maybe we're like, hey, we're getting to the All-Star break. Let's really push, try and get to that 500 record. So, cause I know if we get to around 500, CJ up in the manager's area is going to make some off-season moves to make this team get better, or mid-season moves to make the team better. I think they're going to try and go after some bats from the Orioles and maybe the A's, but I don't think they want to give up their young guys. But we're going to try and go out and get a couple guys to spark the bats because something needs to click there. We need like 1 or 2 guys to click it, and then I think this whole team will get going. But we have the 3rd, for the second half of the season, we have the 3rd hardest schedule in baseball. So that's a bit of a scary sign, but I don't think we're going to get last in the division because of that. I don't think we're going to get first in the division. I think if we're going to make the playoffs, it's going to be through the wild card, which I really think we do because right now, like I said, we have been horrific with offense, but we're still like I think it's 3.5 games out of the wild card. We're playing so bad and we're still right there. So I think if we can just, something needs to get going, I think we've got a good chance of sneaking into the playoffs. And we all know what happens if we get to the playoffs. We win them. That's just what we're 1,000% from the wild card at least. But so the reason we're not in first is because of Houston Astros. I hate to say that, but the Houston Astros are really good this year. Again and again and again and again. They're always good. So they had a really good pitching staff last year, as we all know. They had Framber Valdez, who was the considerable top 5 ace of the league. And they had this young guy named Jake Brown. Not Jake Brown, it's a disc golfer. Hunter Brown, pitcher for them. He was like a younger guy, really good fastball, really good movement. And he was kind of like their 3 or 4 pitcher. He is the best pitcher in baseball this year. Maybe the second best. Tarek Skubal for the Tigers is really good, but he is top 1 or 2 best pitchers in the game. I don't know if any of y'all watched the Rangers versus the Astros earlier in the year. There's a game where we had Jacob deGrom and they had Hunter Brown. It was 1-0 going into the 9th inning. It was the longest 2 pitchers have gone at a game without coming out in a long time. Like they broke records. Like there's so many records that I can't even remember them all, but it was such an impressive game. But that just shows you, like, we scored 1 run off of him and we gave up nothing. Our pitching was better than him that day, but that kid has like a 1.8 ERA this year. And he's 25, 26. He is so good. So with him jumping above who was Framber Valdez, the top 5 best pitcher in the league, so now having a top 1 and top 5 pitching staff is ridiculous. And then you go to the offense where you got their shortstop, young guy Jeremy Pena. When they won the World Series, he was the World Series MVP. And now he's just having the best year of his career. Another young guy, 25-ish. He's an MVP candidate, maybe. You got Yordan Alvarez, just the scariest human being I've ever laid eyes on. Dude, 6'5", massive frames, hits the ball 1,000 miles an hour all the time. They did trade Kyle Tucker, who's at the Cubs killing it, but they got Isaac Paredes back for that trade. And he's not doing what they thought he was going to do. They thought he was going to hit 50 home runs, but he's doing the job really well. Altuve's out there. He seems to just never get bad. He's always really good. They've got top guys. They don't have a lot of like massive depth, in my opinion, but they've got top guys at the position, like pitching. They got the top 2. Offense, they've got top 25 guys. They're just really good. I don't even know what else to say. I don't even have the words for them. For the Mariners, I have words for the Mariners. I need them to stop. I don't know why they're doing good. Their pitching is, I think it's the 3rd best in the league on these metrics. I don't remember if I skimmed it enough, but they were preseason #1 best pitching staff in baseball. They've had some injuries, but they're Logan Gilbert, absolute stud on the mound. They're just ridiculously good at pitching. Last year, it was they couldn't swing the bats. This year, they have a guy who has 38 home runs before the break. Can anyone list the other person that has 38 home runs before the break? Barry Bonds. So him and Barry Bonds, the only 2 people in baseball history to have 38 home runs before the halfway mark. He's a catcher. He is a switch-hitting catcher with 38 home runs. He's hitting .260. Cal Raleigh is a stud. He is sparking their offense, I think he's single-handedly making them better than us. Because if he wasn't there, I feel like we would be above them in our rankings. But I mean, the people are comparing him to Aaron Judge. And if any of you know Aaron Judge, that's the best hitter in baseball right now. So I think he is single-handedly carrying the offense because they had an all-star selection named Julio Rodriguez. He's one of their young superstars they've had for a while. He made the all-star team with a 605 on-base percentage, something like that. Not on base, but slugging. Like, he was not doing great, and he was their all-star selection. So that kind of shows you that he's single-handedly carrying their offense. But yeah, that team is disgusting. Keep watching Cal Raleigh. That guy is... He's already broken Mariners' single-season home run record by a catcher. I think he's going to try and chase Griffey down for like 56 homers in a full season, but he's at 38 at halfway. I think he's going to do it. I mean, he might break the record for most home runs in a year. I would love to see that. But that's all I've got for those divisions. Now I'm going to stay in the AL. We're going to go to the Detroit Tigers. So I was talking about this kid named Tarek Skubal. It's like he's the best pitcher in baseball. Maybe him, Hunter Brown, but he is a psychopath. He throws the ball 102 miles an hour. He's got a slider coming at your face that ends up in the bottom left strike zone at like 90 something, 95 maybe. He's got a disgusting changeup. He can go. There's a stat called a Maddox, where it's like you throw a complete game in under 100 pitches. He did that while also striking out 13 batters and throwing the ball 105. I don't know if any of y'all knew that. Greg Maddox he threw hard. In his later years, wasn't the hardest thrower. So striking out 13, going 100 something miles an hour, going to CG is just insane. And he's doing that day in, day out, day in, day out. That's their ace. They've got a young guy named Casey Mize, 9-3 record, like a 3.2 ERA, but he is 2.3 ERA, not 3.2, 2.3 ERA. He's another, like I said, young guy who is just holding down the rotation. I mean, he'd be their ace if Tarek Skubal wasn't around. He's really good, a bit shorter than the other guy, doesn't throw 105 or whatever, but really good off-speed stuff. Casey Mize is a top prospect for the longest time, so it's really good to see him doing well. Their offense was one of the things last year that they got to the playoffs, and I was like, wow, that's really impressive. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They did okay there. They only got better. So Javier Baez, I don't remember if any of you remember him from 2016 when the Cubs won the World Series. He was like their guy. He was their best offensive player. Got traded or left and then really fell off the face of the earth. He was swinging at stuff like that. Wasn't looking very athletic. He's had a resurgence. He's having arguably a career year in his 30s, which is great. They went out and got a guy named Gleyber Torres from the Yankees. The Yankees got rid of him. He was like, we're done with you. He's showing that he's the best shortstop in baseball, maybe, besides Bobby Witt. He's having a breakout year. They've got young guys. Just Riley Green is killing baseball. Spencer Torkelson is another guy, top prospect for a little while. Struggled early, but he's doing so good now. I think he's going to be pushing 40 homers this year. But their offense was the thing that was kind of questionable last year, and they've gotten infinitely better. The young guys are doing a little better. Some old guys just kind of career years. It's keeping going for them. I am really excited about the Tigers maybe winning the AL, going to the finals. The Detroit Tigers team, their stadium is so cool. That Tiger out there in outfield, like Detroit baseball in September is really fun to watch. So excited for that. I'm gonna go down here. What's the second AL team? I think that's all I got for AL. I think that's it. Oh no, Blue Jays, Yankees, Boston. What am I doing? I'll start from the bottom there. Boston Red Sox were a team that I was all in on at the beginning of the year. They had 3 young prospects who were insanely good. They got Alex Bregman. They were doing really good things. They're on a 10-game win streak right now, and they're still in 3rd place in the division. 10-game win streak, and they're still in 3rd. That's just showing you how good the Yankees and the Blue Jays are doing. But Boston Red Sox got an old guy named Alex Bregman. I know Houston Astros fans remember him. He's slowing down, but he's still Gold Glove defense over there, hitting the ball pretty well. Well, I say Gold Glove defense. He started out really slow. He led the league in errors for the first month of baseball, but really turned it around. You've got Marcelo Mayer is a guy who's young shortstop, a lot of potential. Rowan Anthony, big, massive individual. Struggled early, but he's hitting the ball really hard now. I think he's hitting in the first 8 games, or the first 8 weeks he was playing, he was hitting like 206. The past 8 games before the All-Star break, he's hitting 360. So he's really kind of getting his motion in. Pitching's really good for them. They traded away Rafael Devers, and Boston fans hated that. Rafi Devers was the guy who kind of kept them relevant for a while, but there was Pop likes to say there was a culture issue there. He was a third baseman only, and they wanted him to go DH or first base, and he just said no. Like, he wouldn't do it. They couldn't come to an agreement on that. The Boston fans still loved him and didn't want to get rid of him. And then out of nowhere, they traded him to San Francisco, and now he's over there taking ground balls at first base and stuff. Like, I don't know if he didn't want to be there because he said he loves the fans, but something weird was going on there. So I think that set them back, kind of like being like, wow, what just happened? We traded away our best guy. But I'm not bought in on Boston as much as I am anymore, just because of that weird, confusing situation. I've done a lot of research on the clubhouse, what's going on there, but they're on a 10-game win streak. Something's going right now, so keep your eye out for them. The Yankees seem like they're always good, but they have been plagued with injuries this year. Plagued. Their best pitcher, done. I'm thinking Cole Reagan, but that's not his name. It's who's the Yankees guy? Come on, dude. Why am I blanking on his name right now? Oh my gosh. Garrett Cole. Thank you. Goodness gracious. Garrett Cole's. I couldn't think of it. I was thinking Cole, but I was like, that's not his name. But yeah, Garrett Cole's their best pitcher. He's out. Aaron Judge is kind of holding the offense together while hitting. Oh, he was hitting 400 for a long time, but I was hitting 360 with 20-something bombs. He's doing really good offensively, but that's kind of it. One of their key factors is a young guy named Anthony Volpe. He was, again, a young prospect, but I saw a stat out of the draft from people his year of drafts that are in the big league, so it's 69 people that are made it from his draft year that are in the bigs right now. In offensive categories, he's last in more than half of them. His offense has been really, really bad in this year. His defense, Gold Glove. But you got to hit baseballs, as us Rangers fans know. You got to hit to do good. So at the shortstop position, not hitting is not great. They got rid of that guy, Gleyber Torres. He's gone. They got rid of a guy named DJ LeMahieu, who, older guy, they got to pay him a lot of money, but they just DFA'd him. So he's like not on the team anymore. They're doing, I don't know why they're doing so well. I mean, they're the Yankees, they're a historical powerhouse, but like, other than Aaron Judge, I never know why this team is good. None of their guys pop out of me as the best stats. None of them pop out of me as, I mean, they're obviously all major leaguers. They're all years better than me, but I just don't know why this team is second in their division right now.
Chuck Kennedy.
I do know why Toronto's doing good. They are a team who, they were doing really bad the past couple seasons, but they have a winning culture now. It seems like everyone's bought into the team. Everyone wants to be there. You've got guys like Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. They've got guys who are timely hitting, like in second and third, one out in the eighth inning. Guy pokes one to right field, scores a run. Timely hitting. They're not all swinging for the fences like everyone else does nowadays. They're moving the ball around. They're playing baseball right the old way. Their pitchers, I'm sorry, I don't remember their pitching staff. I have a screenshot of it, so I'm going to get that right now. But their pitching staff has been insane this year. I'll find them real quick. So sorry about this. So I don't want to get this wrong for you guys. But there we go. Chris Bassett, Jose Barrios are two guys who, Jose Barrios was a guy they paid a lot of money for him, like an extreme, like $288 million. And he was stinking it up for the first 2-3 years of that contract before, like, get rid of him. He's gone. He's doing really, really good this year. And he's a younger-ish guy, maybe just getting into 30s. They got Chris Bassett, who's maybe getting into his 40s, and he's having a career year. So they got two pitchers who are like young and old at the top of it and who are doing really good. And then you got, I don't know, like I said, the timely hitting is really, really good. Yeah, Guerrero, Bichette, those guys are destroying it. Alejandro Kirk is a short, stout catcher, like a normal catcher, really big, blocks the ball all the time. He's finally hitting, but it takes him 10 seconds to get to first base because he's so slow. That's not great, but they got guys who are just, their three best hitters are all hitting really good, and their top two pitchers are doing good, and their bullpen is mid-ladder. So that's going to get you a long way if you got three guys hitting the ball really well, two guys throwing the ball really well. So that's what's up with them. All right, National League time. We can skip the Dodgers because they're the Dodgers. They spent $1 billion. They have Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto. They have the Japanese team on their team. They got Freddie Freeman. They've got everybody. They got Will Smith. Their team is probably going to win the World Series, like I always say. If they don't win the World Series, this year was a failure. Because again, they spent $1 billion, like $1 billion with a B, not a million, $1 billion. But I mean, they have Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He was the ace of the Japanese team. He's here now, having a career, having a 2.8 ERA. They just got Roki Sasaki, guy from they got this year in the offseason from Japan. Got like a 3.2 ERA in his first year. They have a shortstop named Haesung Kim. He's Korean. He's just hitting 320, slap hitter guy, getting on base, passing it around. Mookie Betts is having his worst year ever, and he's still an all-star. He's hitting like 300. He's got like a 609 slug. Like he's He's having his worst year ever. He's still an all-star. Freddie Freeman just seems to age like fine wine. That dude, I heard a fact. He has to take multiple ibuprofens. They have to tape his leg. They have to use 3 whole rolls of tape on his leg to make sure he can actually get out onto the field and play. And like, you'd think that would mean like he can't move. He's over there at first base picking balls. He's hitting balls 450. He's just not a bad baseball player. He's ridiculous. Will Smith is the second best offensive catcher in baseball because you have Cal Raleigh, but he just got paid, so good for him because of course the Dodgers paid him. But they're just stacked all the way up and down. They still have Teoscar Hernandez in the outfield, who's a 260 guy that hits 40 home runs a year. They're just so deep. They're so deep on the pitching, offense. They still have a top farm system in baseball, so if someone gets hurt, just put a young guy in there. They're ridiculous. They're a dynasty. They're probably going to be the Detroit Tigers, Los Angeles Dodgers, which would be kind of fun. But I think the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. I'm going to say that for the next 5 years because they're going to keep spending $1 billion every year. No one's going to do anything about it. That's the Dodgers. We go over the Padres now. The Padres are a team, like I've mentioned before in some of these past ones, they're a team full of shortstops. And as some of you all know, shortstops are the best athletes on the field. Because pitchers aren't athletes. No, kidding. Yeah, so they had a guy named Fernando Tatis Jr. who was their young shortstop stud. Moved him to the outfield. He's one of the best defensive outfielders, and he's still hitting 285. He's still going to hit 30 home runs. He's still going to steal 50 bases. You've still got Manny Machado, who's people want to put him in the category of Bryce Harper and Mike Trout. Like he's up there with one of the best. He just does it a bit quietly. He's over there on the West Coast, not East Coast, West Coast, so we don't hear about him over here. But Machado's a guy, just a veteran nowadays. He's in 280, hit 30 home runs, stealing 20 bags, just a veteran presence. They've got Jake Cronenworth, switch hitting shortstop, who is playing second base. And they've got another Hae-Sung Kim, this time from another part of Korea, who also plays shortstop and is their shortstop. They have Xander Bogaerts, who they moved him to first base because you can't have 3 shortstops and shortstops to put it first. But their offense is just that's one of the best cultures in baseball, in my opinion. They've kind of all got that Dominican flair. They're all super excited to be there. They're all dancing in the dugout, all happy to be there. But they've got a really good winning, smiley, happy, like they're just a bunch of kids playing baseball at the end of the day is what that team is. And that seems to work for them. Their pitching, they got Juan Soto too. Totally forgot about that. They gave him $700-something million. I don't know why, but he's hitting the ball really good because I guess that's why they're paying him. But yeah, their offense is, the reason I forgot about Juan Soto is I don't like him. He just doesn't seem like he gives out effort. I've seen so many clips of him, like he's in the outfield, he'll miss one under his glove, and he jogs back to it to try and get it, just stuff like that. But they're paying him $700 million. I think you should put in a little effort to get the ball, so that's why I forgot about him. I just kind of tuned him out of my mind. Because if I had $700 million, I am sprinting that ball. But yeah, I mean, that team is just so fun to watch. They're really annoying when you play them, because they're probably going to hit a grand slam and throw the bat a mile in the air and dance around the line, but that's just the team they are. Who else are we going to go over? We can go over the Philadelphia Phillies. They're the team who were similar to the Rangers in 23. They're just offensive. They're going to out-hit you. They're going to hit better than you. They got Nick Castellanos, Bryce Harper, Trey Turner. They got young guys doing well. Kyle Schwarber, Alec Boehm. That's an offense who is behind the Dodgers, obviously, but one of the best offenses in baseball. They're going to hit their way to the postseason because their ace is down right now. I think he's going to come back before the postseason, and I think you need a little more than one pitcher, which obviously they have 5, but I think they're going to need one more guy. They're going to go out for a pitcher in the before the trade deadline ends to try and really solidify themselves as we're a postseason contender. We're going to be here again. I think this is their final year to do it as well, because I think Kyle Schwarber came out and said, I'm not going to sign here again next year. I want to go somewhere else. They're going to really try and do it in this final year. The New York Mets, this is another team I didn't know much about, so I'm going to come over here and talk about them for a second. So the Mets, Oh yeah, they had Kodai Senga. He's another Japanese pitcher. He throws this thing called the ghost forkball. So he's holding the ball like this. He's got the balls right in there, and he manipulates it where he can put pressure on his pointer finger, and it's going to break down and into righties. Or he puts pressure on his middle finger, and it's going to break down and away from righties. And he can do that to anybody. So he's going to be like, "How am I going to mess with you now? Am I going to go this way? Am I going to go this way?" That's the most unhittable pitch in baseball by statistics. Like, it is the lowest batting average against is on that pitch. He's got a 1.47 ERA, which I think might be the best in baseball, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But Kodai Senga is a fantastic pitcher. They've also got Clay Holmes, who's a guy from the Yankees who was doing really good, but they didn't want to pay him enough, so he came to the Mets, who they're the younger brothers of the Yankees, so of course they're going to pay him. So he's having a really good year. The Mets offense is having a breakout year. Pete Alonso was a guy who I heard rumors that the Rangers were going to get him. I'm like, don't do that. He's way too expensive. He then proved me wrong. He's at 280. He's got 30-something home runs. He's absolutely mashing baseballs. They've got Francisco Lindor, who might be the happiest person alive. He's always smiling. He's the clubhouse leader. He's switch hitting shortstop. He might get to 40-40 this year. He's really, really good. He's always in the MVP talk every single year, but he's just never there. They have Juan Soto. I said the Dodgers, not the Dodgers, Padres have Juan Soto. The Mets have Juan Soto. They hit him $700 million. So he's really good at baseball, don't get me wrong, but I forget about him just because of, like I said, the mentality thing, the effort thing. But he's really good at baseball. He'll hit the ball 500 feet sometimes. He's disgusting. Their bullpen is slowing down now. Their bullpen came out hot. It was the best bullpen in the first 12 weeks of the season, or 12 games of the season. And now they've really regressing. It's not like gradually, but it's going down slowly but surely. So I think they're going to make some bullpen pieces before they really solidify themselves as the team to beat. But yeah, and then I think I'm going to go over one more team, which is where are they? The Milwaukee Brewers. So in past years, the Milwaukee Brewers, I never know anything about the Brewers because they always just make the postseason, and I never know how. They're just always there. I used to say it's because of the pitching, but they've lost one of their best pitchers a couple years ago to a trade or to free agency, and they still make the postseason. So I just don't know how they do it. So I went and researched this. So I'm gonna read what they have to say, because my friend who plays disc golf on the Pro Tour was in town, and he's a big Milwaukee fan, so he kind of chatted my ear off for a while. So I have some facts about Milwaukee this year that I can tell you guys. Where is this? So everyone's excited about them. They have the most wins at the All-Star break in their franchise history. So they've always made the playoffs, but technically this is their best year so far. Fun fact number one. Their offense is full of guys. Rhys Hoskins was a guy on the Phillies who, like I said, hit the ball really well, but they had so much payroll up, so they had to choose one guy to let go. They let him go. So Milwaukee picked him up, and he still hits the ball really good. They've got a kid named Jackson Chourio. I think he's 19 years old. Switch hitting outfielder. He is He's might be the fastest guy in the league. He jumps higher than anybody. He's robbing home runs every day. And there is so much hype around this kid. Keep your name out ears out for Jackson Chourio. That kid is ridiculously good at 19 years old. Just demolishing MLB pitching at 19. You've got guys, Caleb Durbin, another young guy, just to put your head down, hit the ball into the ground, and get to first base before they can do it. Like, he's the guy that gets on, and they start moving it around. He is their leadoff guy. You've got Bryce Terang. He's hitting like 380 at one point, but it's dropped down now. But he was hitting like 380. He was insanely hot to start the year out. He is now, I think he's down in under 300, but if you're hitting 380, that means you're doing something right. So if they can get him going again, that's going to be great for their team, because having a guy that hits 380 doesn't exist anymore. They've got William Contreras, he was the younger brother of Wilson Contreras, so that's kind of cool that two catchers in baseball are playing brother versus brother. And he was always the worst of the two because he was a bit younger, so he wasn't as good as the Wilson Contreras. But now he is top 5 catcher in baseball. The Brewers have a catching factory. they take below average defensive catchers and turn them into framing machines. Like he has the most saved strikes. So like it's a ball, he framed it so well, and the umpire calls it a strike. So he has the most out of any catcher in the league right now. So they just churn out defensive catchers, which is amazing. And he was an offensive catcher. So now he's doing both. Really, really good for them. But they're just like catching machine. And then my favorite player in baseball, Christian Yelich, is on this team. He's a guy who back in 2016, he was young, he's an MVP candidate, really, really good. But he's in Milwaukee, so I didn't really hear about him too often. But he was just plays baseball the right way, always smiling. He'll hit you 20, 30 home runs, but he hustles. He's out there grinding every day. He's talking to his teammates about every little thing. I heard he's one of the best teammates to have. He's having a career year in his later years now. He's past 30 at this point, but him having a breakout year past 30 is great because he's been in the league for so long and he's having his best year now. That's really going to bring up this team because he's been on this team for a while now. He wants to win because they made the playoffs for the past 5 years. I'm going to go over to the pitching side now. So like I said, their pitching has always been the best. They have always had like 3 or 4 guys who are just going to out pitch you. Just like they might not be the best on paper, but they're going to pitch better than your guy that day. And they went out and got some guys who do that. Nestor Cortez is the guy for the Yankees who's always going like this and throwing timing off. They picked him up. He's having a great year. They got DL Hall, another guy, really, really freaky motion. He's down here, like almost touching the dirt. And it comes up to your eye. It's almost like a rising fastball. So you have weird, funky timing guy. You've got someone from down here. Then you have a guy who was really good for the longest time. Brandon Woodruff, he was one of those guys who's been on the team forever. He's one of the 2 guys they've had for 5 years. He was a guy who's still pitching like an ace in baseball. He's still there. He's up till 35, 36 now. He's still just out dueling your favorite pitcher. He's so good out there. They got Freddie Peralta, who was a guy, I think, for the Marlins. They picked him up, and he's, again, another guy. I think he's got like a 2.70 ERA, has the best changeup in baseball. So like the lowest hits again, the lowest average against is his changeup. So I think he's got the best changeup in baseball. And their bullpen is just one of the better bullpens. It's not like it's above average or below, it's just slightly above average. And I don't talk about bullpens too often because my dad always says if you were good enough, you wouldn't be in the bullpen, you'd be starting. So that's what he says about that. But so I never know too much about bullpens. I just know they've got a slightly above average one. But that's all I really got. I'm sorry it hasn't been as much as the previous years. It's been hard to watch baseball this year just because the Rangers have been so disappointing. So I'm out of tune a little bit this year. But yeah, any questions? Anything for me?
What can you tell us about their draft picks?
Rangers?
Yes.
I actually really like the picks this year, the top 2 we got. This kid, Gavin Frame, is his name, I believe. It's Gavin something. It's really...
See the high school?
So this is the first high schooler we've drafted since 2018. He was listed as a third baseman on all like the draft boards, like Draft America, Baseball America. They all had him as a third baseman. When we drafted him, we listed him as a shortstop. Our manager goes out there and says, we're going to try him at shortstop. He's got a similar frame to Corey Seager, where he's 6'3", doesn't have the prettiest, like most mechanical swing, but it's really good. His sophomore and junior year of high school, he was at like 4'11", was kind of just like chopping over on it, getting out over the shortstop and third baseman, but before the outfielder, so he's getting these singles and doubles. This past year, he had a great year. He played for USA under 18s, he played for the USA World Cup, not World Cup team, World Baseball Cup Classic, whatever they call it, team. And he won the MVP of both the tournaments that he was in. But he had his senior year of high school, he hit 350, but he hit 7-8 more bombs than he usually does. So he put on the power in a short amount of time. What I read about him was that they drafted him wanting him to be out of shortstop, and they're going to give him the chance at shortstop. They want his defense to get better because they think our minor league team pumps out like really good defenders. So they want him to get his defense up because if you're a good defensive shortstop, you can play pretty much anywhere, out anywhere. So they're going to either try him, move him to third base because he's 6'3", 150, 60, something like that. It's kind of a smaller guy. So they're going to want him to put on weight and only move him to third base or stick him in the corner outfield. This is what I see him happening, but he's going to have like 6 years till he's in the majors anyways because he's a high school kid, but really exciting stuff there. All of his stats were average. On like the draft predictions, they had him at 50s on everything except for his arm. So I think they're probably going to put him out in the corner outfield spot.
Well, and say he's slow though. How can they put him out in the outfield?
They put him out in the corner outfield that you don't need defense as much, but I
You
mean,
put on pounds on him, he isn't going to get any faster.
well, so he actually put on a little weight from his junior to senior year, and they said it made him run faster because he's putting muscle in his legs. I don't think he's going to get fat or anything. I just think you're going to want to muscle him up a little bit, get him a bit quicker because, again, I think he's 18. Like he's got a long way to go, a lot of development to go. Everyone's always like, why are we drafting a shortstop? We have Corey Seager. I'm like, Corey Seager's not going to be here for 30 years. Like we have to draft the best talent available. I think that's what we did. And then our second pick was a college guy from Tennessee. I think his name was AJ something. I can't remember the last name, but I heard that they said if he didn't get hurt last year, he would have been a top 5 pick in last season. But he got hurt, kind of recovered at Tennessee, had a great year. They put him in the bullpen. I think he pitched 36 innings and had 47 strikeouts, which is more strikeouts than innings, really. He had 7 walks, but he was a bullpen guy. Like he was a starter turned into the bullpen because of the injury, so he can't go too long right now. But I'm assuming they're going to let him develop in the minors for a little bit. But I just like the fact that last year he would have been a top 5 pick in baseball. So this year we got him as our second round pick. Really excited that we could have a potential back end bullpen guy for a little while, because if you get a bullpen guy young, you can keep him for a while. They're turning out to be really good. Yeah. So
Yeah. Tell us about Hiroshima Lions.
Hiroshima, isn't that the Japanese team with the manager has the most home runs ever in Japanese baseball history?
Yeah.
Or is that the Giants? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not super into Japanese baseball.
You got the baseball bat. I mean, it's hot. This is for the.
This is my college team that I played for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is my college, Lion College in
But
Batesville, Arkansas.
Hiroshima is the top team in Japan.
Yeah, I've heard of
The
that.
Lions, the same kind of bat. That's why I'm asking.
I like the Japanese baseball. I don't follow it as much as MLB baseball, but I still know that like I said, the Giants are really good over there.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh,
Lions.
Giants.
Yeah.
Got that team.
Their manager, I think, has the record for most home runs by a Japanese player ever. He's got like 600-700. I heard a story that when he was managing, someone was coming up to break his record, like on the other team, for most home runs in a single season. So he's managing against that guy, so they walked him. When they played him, they walked him. I'm not letting you break a home run record.
Yeah.
Right here.
What is the inside scoop on Josh Young? That's why I was late, because I'm praying for you to get back to the majors.
So I don't know. I know you're talking about Josh Young, the third baseman.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't know how long he's going to be out for. I've got no information on it because they stuck him on the 15-day for a bit.
Yes.
But then I think they moved him to 30 just recently.
Oh no.
So when that happens, it's usually a little worse than they originally thought. But I haven't read anything about the full details yet.
Okay.
You talking about John?
Yeah, Josh Young.
Yeah.
I know our first baseman, Jock Peterson, should be coming back soonish, but he could stay hurt. He's hit the ball so bad. I mean,
Yeah. Are the Cubs going to hold off Milwaukee?
I think so. The Cubs are a historic powerhouse. Did I talk about the Cubs?
Yeah.
No. I didn't talk about the Cubs?
No.
Oh, sorry. They're winning the division. Let me go over that real quick. I'm so sorry. I'm going to talk about the Cubs. That is my fault.
The
No.
beloved Chicago Cubs.
I love the Cubs. I love their manager, David Ross. He was my favorite. He was awesome growing up. Especially when they won 2016. That was so cool. But yeah, the Cubs, they got a guy named Dansby Swanson at shortstop. He won the World Series with the Braves, so he's got experience. He's a little older, and he's on their team as their leader. They got a guy named Kyle Tucker who, like, the Astros didn't want to pay him, so they traded him, and now he's a top 5 hitter in baseball. So he's kind of giving a little, like, sticking it to the Astros, which I always like. They've got Shota Imanaga is their ace pitcher. He's a bit on the shorter side. I think he's actually 5'11", which shorter side, 5'11". But for a pitcher, that's pretty short. But his mechanics are the same every single time. So that's why he's so disgusting, because he won't change his body at all to throw a fastball, to throw a sinker that's coming in at you. So it's really cool to watch him pitch because the motion is the exact same every time. They've got, else, man? What else? We talked about this. I think the Cubs are going to do fine. Whenever the Cubs are doing good, it's good for baseball because they just have that long history. But I think they're going to hold them off because I think they've got like 7 games on them or something like that. I think it's going to be hard to catch up. Obviously they can, but I think they'll hold it off.
Right.
Why am I blanking on them? Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry for missing the Cubs, the historic.
You're forgiven.
What do you know about the Cardinals?
I love their uniforms. No,
I have also for over 80 years. So.
they
Yeah.
I watched the game the other night against the Braves. They're down by 1 run in the 9th inning, and everyone is swinging for the fences. I didn't see anyone try to put the ball in play. So that was a bit weird. Just in the couple game I watched, it was a bit weird to get my bottom of the 9th past that stick, but everyone was just swinging for it. I know they got Wilson Contreras, like I said, the older brother, that William Contreras guy. He was on that Cubs 2016 team that won it, but he's regressed a little bit. He's had some shoulder injuries and hamstring injuries, which as a catcher, that's not great to slow you down, but he's still really offensive. They had this big guy whose name I couldn't pronounce, but he scared me. He had this long curly mullet. He looked like he's 400 pounds, but he was swinging as hard as anybody I'd ever seen. Can't even remember his name. Their 4-hole hitter.
Yeah.
He was insane looking. He was scary looking, man. He had a long beard, curly mullet. He was really funny to look at. But yeah, I don't know too much about them other than that one couple game I watched. I know they were doing pretty solid early, but they're now 3rd in the division, so I don't know what's happened there. But I will look up into it before the next meeting for you.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Well, you mentioned this. Do you think Bochy will be back next year?
I hope so. My dad thinks no, but I love Bochy. I hope he's here next year, but he's done it all really. And he's got the World Series with the Giants. He's got it with us. He's like top 5 in wins and managerial history. So I don't know. It just depends on how it goes really. I mean, if we win the World Series, I don't think he'll be back. But if we don't make the playoffs, I don't think he'll be back. You know, I think if we make the playoffs and don't win, that might spark him for one more year. But like, I really don't know. I really hope so though, because Bochy is one of the greatest things that happened to the franchise. He's such a good manager.
You mentioned trying to get a couple of bats before the trade deadline, but I think they need a 9th inning stopper. They've given up on Jackson, understandably.
Yeah,
Garcia lost it the other day in extra innings, walking 2 guys who were trying to bunt, and he went in the dugout. Did you see him go in the dugout and check the dugout all the way?
I think they're gonna try Rocker, Kumar Rocker, the pickle juice guy. They're gonna try him as a 9th inning guy because he's that big frame. He throws 98. He's got that, like the 98-mile-an-hour fastball. I know nowadays is league average or whatever, but I think his build, I don't think he goes long in games. I think they're going to try and work him into the bullpen. Now, he's so young. I don't think that's going to happen now. But you're right. They do need to get a 9th inning shutdown guy, but I think they might move Hobie Milner there because he's been so good in the bullpen this year. So I think they're going to say, why not?
And it's a different look coming at you.
Oh yeah, I mean, because you'll have those shifty guys. You'll have the guys like Mariano Rivera who have the crazy pitch that just is unhittable. You have the guys like Aroldis Chapman who throw 105. But you've got those like interesting guys who you'll have the super tall guy coming from 10 feet above your head coming down at you. So I think having a weird angle closer would be pretty cool. Like that Craig Kimbrell, the guy who pitched like this, I think it's having something like that as your back end guy could work. But
Well, there are a couple of losing teams this year that might have a Chapman, somebody like that, and could be picked.
Raciel Iglesias is on the Cardinals, who I know they're not losing team. They still have a positive record right now, and they're 3rd place in the division. But I think that's the guy that could be given up. I think you might see some bids at Chapman. He's throwing 105 again. He's having a really good year. The A's are last in our division right now, and they've got a guy going 105. It's not Bobby Brown, but they've got a guy who might be giving up. But that's going to be really hard for us as Rangers to get him. They're trading within the division, so there's probably a couple guys. It's probably going to be a guy that I haven't heard of. We might even try and go back for like Dave Roberts or something like that. Bring somebody back in. But yeah, I mean, I do agree. I think we might need another bullpen guy, but I just think we have so many pitchers too, like on the starting side, that could be moved and try out there. But another thing that happened this year, Cody Bradford, a younger guy that we had, he was said to be coming back soon. and then got hit with a 60-day IL again. So he's another guy who I was really excited to see come back and isn't going to be back because he was a good starter for us last year. So having him make 6, I don't think we were going to go to a 6-man. So I think someone was going to the pin. Yeah, I mean, at this break, I think he might do something crazy. I think we might trade DeGrom. I think because he's having a great year. We only have him for, I believe, 2 more years on the contract, but he's having one of the best years he's ever had. And we already have such a depth of pitching. I think they could do something crazy and trade Jacob DeGrom for a whole package. You could get, you're not going to get as much for him as you could have, but like I said, he's just coming back from his Tommy John injury. He's pitching really good, better than he has in a long time since the Mets days. So I think you could do something like that happen. But that's it for going. That's a good sell in my opinion. Someone trading away someone like Adolis Garcia is a bad sign sell. That means we're kind of like giving up trying to get some stuff for the next couple 2-3 years. But I think we're going to be buyers at the deadline. I think we're going to do some trades. I think we're going to try and really get some guys. Like I said, 2 or 3 bats because we have so many other bats that we could get rid of. And like like a Zeke Duran type, he's a guy that I think is going to get packaged with somebody. So, but yeah, I agree. I think we do need a back end guy as well.
Jackson, who do you think's going to pair up for the American League and going to pair up for the National League Championship?
I think National League Championship could be the Phillies-Dodgers, I think Dodgers will win. And then I think American League, Cubs are really good too. I think American League, it'll be, sadly, I think it'll be Detroit and Houston. But I want Detroit to get it. They might be able to just because of how good their 1-2 is. Like if you have 2 really good starting pitchers, that takes you a long way in the postseason because the first series of wild card is 3 games, so all you need is 1. The next one is 5 games. So if you win 2 in a row, you just need 1 more. So I think the Tigers, Astros. I think the World Series could be the Tigers, Dodgers. And of course, I think the Dodgers are going to win the World Series because $1 billion. Yeah. There's still a long way.
How much or the tax the Dodgers have to pay the over?
I actually don't know. It's a lot. It's 300 something. I think it's like 300 million. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But so a sad sign that I have read the other day from an insider, Ken Rosenthal, was that he doesn't think we're going to have a 26 MLB season because we're having the meetings with the owners and the players, and the owners are going to want a salary cap because of the Dodgers and the Mets, but the players are going to be like, no, pay us what we're worth. But the players also want minor leaguers to be paid more, and the owners do not want to pay minor leaguers because they're not major leaguers. So there's discussions that we might not have this season next year. So I hope that doesn't happen, but yeah, that's a sad side. Did you ever read that?
I was going to ask about a salary cap.
I got you, yeah. Yeah, I think they're going to have to pay a lot of money, like a 300 million plus, I think, maybe. But I mean, if you win the World Series, is it worth it? Right, I mean, maybe. Anything else? Anybody?
Well, I was watching the games the Rangers played in the White Sox and Baltimore. I mean, it's nobody at the ballpark. I'm looking at all the empty seats. How can they afford a payroll now?
Yeah, it's been a sad year, but I mean, whenever we get to that postseason time, if we do, that makes us a ton of money. Those postseasons make so much money when you get there. Yeah, it seems like the Orioles and the White Sox are kind of sad because those are like historically pretty good franchises. So not having seen anybody in the seats is pretty sad. But yeah.
I got here a little late, but what is your position with the Rangers?
It's been really disappointing so far because we're not hitting. Because in 2020.